Far Cry 5 was an exceptional game. Released in March, it was received well both by the fans and critics alike. With its addictive arcade editor, it added hours of replay value. However, with its first DLC, Hours of Darkness, it left fans with a disappointing feeling as it could be completed in an hour, and with the second DLC, Lost on Mars, it added everything that people disliked from the previous Far Cry games. But does the third and final DLC, Dead Living Zombies, end the season pass with a bang? As with the previous DLCs, Dead Living Zombies is a spin-off from the main game and sees players meet up with the D-tier film director Guy Marvel, who has a few ideas for an epic zombie saga. You play out these 7 scenarios, which essentially are maps made in the Far Cry 5 arcade editor. Basically, each map has different objectives, and as you fight through these hordes of undead, you unlock the next map, and you also obtain a total score, which can be increased if you replay the same scenario. Once you obtain a 3-star rating on these score attack modes, you'll unlock weapons and gear to use in the main campaign. The problem with this though is the fact that if you've already finished the main campaign at near 100% completion, you'll have zero reason for taking this equipment in the main game. That has been my main problem with all of the DLC in Far Cry 5, aside from the fact that you can finish each scenario in under 20 minutes, thus it'll take you no longer than 2 hours to complete the Dead Living Zombie DLC. The assets included in the DLC is tons of fun if you're into the map editor and arcade mode, and there's plenty of new arcade maps to enjoy where people have created fantastic maps using these new assets. The problem is the fact that these arcade maps are better than some of the DLC, and that has been one of my main concerns from the start. Hours of Darkness focused mainly on stealth. It was fun, although a little disappointing, but at the time I had already played arcade maps more entertaining than the DLC Ubisoft has created. Lost on Mars was a repetitive mess of getting from tower to tower, with 15 boss battles that were bullet sponges and could be completed in less than 4 hours. There were no real incentive to replay any of these DLC, and since it hasn't really been part of the main story, it did not add much value to the overall experience of Far Cry 5. In fact, the season pass detracted from the main experience and made the gold edition not seem worth it, aside from getting Far Cry 3 with it, but more on that in a different video. Far Cry 5 Dead Living Zombies is fun for a while, but the zombie craze in video games has been done to death, no pun intended, and in much more unique ways. Even at its low price, it's almost not worth it, and I'd recommend to wait for a sale on this one. If I'd had to put a score on it, I'd rate Far Cry 5 Dead Living Zombies DLC a 4.5 out of 10. Some might find a lot of enjoyment out of this, but there really isn't any incentive to return once you play through the DLC. What is next for Far Cry 5? A new full expansion, perhaps that adds to the main story? More DLC? Ubisoft tends to keep supporting the games in the long run, so time will tell how they will keep player base engaged in Far Cry 5, but be sure to click that subscribe button with notifications if you want to stay up to date with Far Cry 5. If you enjoyed this video, then give me a thumbs up. If you dislike it, then give me a thumbs down, but please tell me why so I can improve my videos. My name is Frank, I'm the Red Side Guy, and frankly, thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.